children are taken by the, she tries to get you to send her money. It's not very much, but when you're in dire straits like that, chances are pretty good if they took your kids, it's because you're broke. That $50 that you send is a fucking lot to you. There's a lot of people that I needed their words at the very beginning, and they thought sending $50 to me so that they had something to throw in my face later would be good. No, I know how much it takes to send that $50 to somebody when you got kids. The people that I tried to go to first were the ones without kids. That way they couldn't throw their kids in my face like they did when they needed help. Sean, I need help. Well, you got like 4 boyfriends in that town. Why don't you ask one of them to help you move? Of course, I don't ask them that, do I? You know why I don't ask them that? Because I already know they went to those guys first. Those guys turn them down. That's why they come to me. They don't come to me because I'm the first person that they want to go to. I'm not the first person that they think of when they go, you know, I need a babysitter. You know, I need to move out of my abusive husband's house. You know, my boyfriend can't keep his hands off my kids. I need to do something. Sean to the rescue. Sean to the rescue. A lot of people made fun of me for being Captain Save-A-Ho. Like, you know, some of those girls are on drugs that you're helping out. Some of you guys I'm helping out are on fucking drugs. Me having a warm place over at Dallas. Yeah, that was very, very much worth it to me to have a warm place. I couldn't get any of the work done there. Well, I got to take that back. I got quite a bit of work done while he was working. But he worked for about 3 months after I moved in with him. And then he was drunk and depressed all the time. Where he got the money for the booze, well, from me, from his family. There's a big difference between accusing somebody of being on drugs and somebody actually being on drugs. We get to see that in Rawlins, Wyoming, they didn't bother to take a whiz quiz. There wasn't one taken. When I went to the Haxton Hospital in January of 2018 with Candace Bondurant, Candace Bondurant worked there. I never got my paperwork from there, ever. Now, she claimed my wrist wasn't broken. Thank goodness. It still hurts to this day, but I can do this with it, which also hurts. Now, we got all these sites that you guys send us to, these helper sites. And we get on there, and we get a bunch of these guys that wait until a post is old by a week or two, and then they'll get on there. That's when they get on and say, oh, well, I'm offering my services. They're like less likely to get caught by the admin that way. And they'll go in and they'll invite 20 or 30 people to send them money. What do they do once you send them money? I busted at least 8 of these scammers. See, all these people are going to those sites not to share everybody else's story, not to show that it's happening to others, but specifically and only to share their own. Only their own. They're going there for help. It's a fucking wine tick group. It's like going to AA. It doesn't actually fix your problems. You have to do that. Now, what do you do when you're not allowed? You're supposed to go to therapy and whine to somebody, and you're supposed to do that for the rest of your life, right? I didn't go to these people so that I could go to them every day for the rest of my life. I went to these people because I was being abused, and that's who I was sent to. Nobody wants to do anything about abuse against an at-risk adult that nobody cares about. And people didn't show that they cared. They typed to me that they cared, but they didn't share that with the public. They didn't fight for my rights even a little bit. They wanted to hide. Now, with all the people that were having their lives threatened, I can understand why they wanted to hide. But at the same time, that never should have happened. And if those people had been my friends from the start, actually been friends instead of talking over me, talking down to me, talking to me like I'm retarded, treating me with complete and total disrespect. When a victim comes to you about their abuse, you need to listen to the victim. Listen, not talk over them, not sell a false narrative like the cops do, not throw shit in their face that you weren't there for. How the fuck would you know? Whether it's these trolls on Facebook or YouTube, or my friends in real life, or the fucking police, or the hospitals, it doesn't make any difference. You guys have already made your choice. You already decided that men are guilty and women are always the victims before any of this happened. You already decided that, well, you're not going to speak up about a friend of yours going through this, but you will speak up about Johnny Depp. I'm going to have me another cigarette. It should be close to time for Mr. Scudder to be here. I'm hoping. I haven't been able to call any of those places because I have to maintain the recording so that if anything happens, it's recorded. If I get something wrong, I can go back through my videos and see that I did something wrong or said something wrong. There are often when I go through some of my videos and I listen to them, and right at the very beginning I go, man, I used the wrong name. I said Mandy Singer instead of Mandy Hughes. Or I said Mandy Hughes instead of Mandy Singer. Or I said Robert Farnsworth instead of Robert Warnick. However, if somebody helps me to turn this in, I've got the messages from 308-800-7650, I think. I don't know, I can't remember it. Let me scroll this down and all. It's 1-308-800 7560. Been harassing me for at least 5 days. Not identifying himself, calling from a Nebraska number. 308 is Nebraska, just so you know. 303 is Boulder Local. I used to have a 303 number. I'm not seeing Mr. Scudder yet. Let's see what time it is. 10:03. Now that lady could have been honest from the start, and she was for the most part. The part that really screwed me over was that she didn't tell me that she was MPD until, well, some of y'all in the military might think I'm talking about military police or some other acronym if you have another job. But it's multiple personality disorder. And you don't stop to think about how scary that is for me. Now we got this troll on the internet calling from a Nebraska number, trying to claim that he's the one that dumped off my stuff here. Also claimed to have a bag of my stuff that they found. You see, you guys don't keep your lives straight for very long. And that's what gets you all busted. For me, I have a communication issue. It's different. I'm in a very complicated situation with a lot of people involved. It's different. My communication issues are because I am constantly overwhelmed and frustrated. I want my life to be over at every moment of the day. When people victimize me, all they have to do is pretend like I might hurt them. Pretend. So they and their friends do shit like this. Jamie Curtis did this to me. Vicky Rain, if this Nebraska member that is harassing me over Vicky Rain. Look at the situation with Lana Engeline. With Lana Engeline, she thought that sex was going to fix it. There's lots of people who thought that. They thought, oh, Sean, you just need to get laid. No, that's not it. But then when she felt rejected, he turned mean. Now, Miss Jerry was going to help me. She helped me set up a YouTube channel. This one right here. Jerry Sparks of Belgrade, Montana did that. She was doing so at Lana and Amanda Engeline's in Gallatin Gateway, Montana. She spent 3 days there, and most of that time was spent at the table with Lana. I couldn't even open my mouth without Lana fucking snapping at me because I didn't fuck her. Stupid. But then, of course, Lana didn't get what she wanted, so she plays head games using other people. Other people get involved, like Amanda Engeline and Miss Jerry. Kind of like in 2016 while I was in Virginia. I didn't have the money to have a nice expensive dentist thing, but I needed the teeth out. They'd been rotting in my head for years. And you guys don't consider that. When you guys have a sore tooth, you go down to the dentist, you get the stuff taken care of, you've got the money, you've got the insurance, it's done. For me, I had to of course, go to work. Through those health issues, I worked at the Cheesecake Factory 6 months, hoping that I would get dental insurance so that I could actually get something done. But no, it didn't work. They told me they had a meeting like a week before I started working there, and because I wasn't at that meeting, how could I have been? I didn't work there. Because I was not at that meeting to fill out the paperwork, I didn't actually get medical or dental. More hours, I can't afford to get my teeth out of my head, and I am sick from these teeth being in my head. I am in constant pain from these teeth being in my head. He said, all right, I'll see what we can do about it. Then Jesse, he's the store manager of the Cheesecake Factory. He said, well, we're going to cut you down to 4 hours a week because your work performance sucks. Well, of course it sucked. I've been working through infection there for 6 months. I needed insurance and I didn't get it. So I was able to coordinate and get up to Montana to see Miss Jerry. She went to Alliance, Nebraska. She didn't want Lana Engeline to know that she'd gone there to see Ron Reeder. Ron Reeder drove me, well, there's 3 legs of the trip. The second leg of the trip was Ron Reeder giving me at least a month. I was there for a while. Meanwhile, I couldn't pay my shop rent while I was up there in Montana. That sucked too. All them tools in there I was trying to save so I could try to make the world a better place. Well, I was visiting Natalie and Alicia in Virginia. Miss Jerry's son had posted a racist post about how he thought Colin Kaepernick should be punched in the throat by a soldier. I didn't like that, so I typed back that, well, a soldier should get punched in the throat then for doing so. And of course, then all of his friends want to get on. Some of them are being racist little pricks. And I'm overwhelmed. I just need a friend. And I'm uh, Brett Roloff, and he talks about that. He was in jail when that happened, so I didn't get to see him. I didn't have the money to go and see people like Ed Simmons. He threw that in my face on the way out the door, by the way. He threw it in my face that I never made it there to where he was. Well, why didn't I make it there? Because I spent all my money going to rescue Jamie Curtis and her son up in Rapid City, South Dakota. You know, there's all the personal business and all this that, you know, if people had at least admitted that I'd gone there. None of the personal business needed to be out there. Now, normally, I would try to do these things in a much safer way. But when people let me know that there's a safety issue, like what Jamie Curtis did, and that we were supposed to be in contact at least once a week so that I knew that James Payton wasn't hurting her or her son, and then she disappeared for 2 weeks. No call, no show. That was right before Natalie died. Like when I exposed all of this stuff, I exposed the situation with Jamie Curtis because I was afraid because she was a missing person. She was missing. And then in the meantime, I can't go up there and help her at all. All of my money has been fucking ripped off by Ken and Leah Plunkett, who I'm staying with at the time. In Englewood, Colorado, not Sheridan, by the way. And all the evidence that I needed to show, I needed help showing it so that it wouldn't get blown off, so that I didn't have to break the law to try to get it shown. But my friends and family didn't understand that. They didn't understand that the longer they take, the more they look away, the more crimes are committed against me. And all they do is make excuses why they can't try. If they cared, they would have tried from the start. Well, it's after 10 o'clock. He might have said 10:30, but I can't exactly go back and listen to the video at the moment. I would try to start up my car and try to plug in my computer there and do it a little bit different, but it's pretty late. Anyway, I guess I'm gonna pull out my computer and try to get it hooked up to my phone so I can record it. I'm gonna call Jason Scudder and see why he hasn't quite been able to make it here yet. He did drive by this morning. Hey, Chad.
Hey. So.
Just waiting on Mr. Scudder. He's supposed to be here at 10.
Nothing but complaints. So what are we looking at here?
Well, a lady with multiple personality disorder had me take my stuff out of storage and take it to her house. She was going to help me out, and then her multiple personalities got in the way. She dumped all this stuff on me last night. Jason Scudder was gonna be here at 10. He was gonna try to come out a little earlier if he could. Rob there said that he was gonna call somebody earlier. It doesn't seem like he did.
10 o'clock, and then I'm gonna involve the police because this isn't.
It's not something that should have happened. It's not something that I asked for.
Scott would be here at 10, and it's 10:15 now.
Yeah, I actually meant Jason Scudder, but yeah, I can't make him go any faster.
What's that?
I said it was actually Jason, not Scott. I can't make him go any faster.
Well, I mean, if I were you, I'd be lighting a fire under these people that are supposedly going to help you because...
Well, part of it is that I have to be afraid of you guys coming up and approaching me again. I have to make sure that it's recorded live on my YouTube channel.
You have to be afraid of us?
I do have to be afraid of. I have to be afraid of the situation. I'm being victimized and treated like I'm a horrible person because I was victimized. I didn't ask for this.
You as a person. I told you that earlier. It has nothing to do with your situation, your person. It's the fact that you're interfering with us being able to...
I'm not interfering with anything. I didn't do this. I didn't do this. So stop blaming me. Stop blaming me.
Why don't you call the police?
Because the police won't listen to me. That's the reason that I was trying to get help. I'm a homeless, disabled male. Cops don't listen to us.
Yelling at me and doing that. I've been pretty cordial with you, haven't I?
You haven't been. The last time with that situation with Molly, the police were out here on at least 3 different occasions on your property.
You're bringing it here, and I don't...
I'm not bringing it here. See, now you're blaming me again for being victimized. You need to stop that. That is inappropriate. I am the victim here. No, you are blaming me for people victimizing me and treating me like I chose this. Do not talk over me. Do not act as if I am not a human being and that my thoughts, feelings, and opinions don't matter, and neither does my life. I am the victim here. I did not ask for this. I have been more than cordial with you through all of this, through all of the victimization. The police should have come into you and talked to you about the Molly situation and looked at the cameras instead of you coming out and being a dickhead to me because she tried to break into your building. I am not crossing the line. You are making a safety issue here. You are putting me and my life at risk right now. All right, see this situation right here? I didn't ask for this. I am being victimized because I was victimized. What these guys are doing is not appropriate. They were going to call the cops hours ago. I'm still waiting on Jason Scudder. For me to be treated like I am a horrible monster because I am homeless. I'm not on drugs. I don't drink. I don't go running around harassing people and assaulting them on the friggin' street. When it comes to the situation with people like, of course, the Scudders, who are witnesses to this, the cops should have talked to them. When that happened, there were witnesses in the parking lot on multiple occasions. And on multiple occasions, I get treated like I chose this, like I brought this here. No, I was victimized into this point by police officers who didn't want to do their jobs. Like I am literally at the end of my ropes with these people treating me like I'm a bad person because I'm broke. Them not doing their jobs is what makes me broke. It's what puts me in an unsafe situation. It's what allows Molly to do these things repeatedly. And instead of the cops doing their jobs, I get victimized. Now, obviously, that guy with the curly hair who came and smacked his hand on my vehicle, he didn't need to do that. That was not necessary, just like it's not necessary for him to stare me down every time he sees me. Now, I'm doing my best. I'm calling all the places I'm supposed to call and going all the places I'm supposed to go. They're not doing their jobs. For me, I'm running around all the services that I got to go to turn in the cops for not investigating that situation with Molly on multiple occasions. But she can use, of course, them to come harass me on multiple occasions while she's threatening to kill me and telling other people she's going to kill me. And did the cops try to investigate that? No. When she was beating on my vehicle over there, did the cops investigate that? No. When Rob came out and talked to me about my car being in the parking lot at night, said I couldn't stay here overnight. I literally have not stayed the night except for last night, and only because I was forced to, because again, somebody who I needed help turning in decided to do something immoral and illegal. And I'm being told I brought this here. No, I didn't. I did not choose to be victimized. And this asshole pretending that I chose this and trying to talk over me and victim blame and victim shame. This is highly inappropriate. No matter what, I'm a bad person. I get it. I get it. All homeless people deserve to be flushed down the toilet and pushed out into the ocean. I'm not far from the ocean. I've got a boat on top of my friggin' car. The thing is that when people take advantage of me, there should be somebody there, a caseworker, to help me so that I'm not taken advantage of. These guys think it's hilarious. Now, Rob there claims that he's the owner of the place. He's the guy in the middle. I don't know who this other feller is, and that other guy there is another one. See, smiles. They enjoy this. They get off on this. They know that I'm the victim, and they keep on smiling. And Rob, of course, hides behind somebody else. Now, obviously, I'm not threatening to destroy their property. I'm not trying to destroy their property. I'm not threatening their lives or their livelihoods. I'm not threatening to have their things stolen. I'm not pretending like they're criminals because they've been victimized. Did I victimize them? No, absolutely not. Vicky Rain. Go to Vicky Rain. Stop victimizing innocent people for being broke. Stop forcing us to move elsewhere. Stop harassing us every time some Karen wants to pretend that she didn't get her way right when she wanted it. Then all of a sudden we're evil people, right? Look at this pile. You see this pile? That's Jason Scudder's tarp on top of that. Fuck, my foot hurts. Meanwhile, these guys are expecting me to magic up stuff that I can't. They want me to light fire under people's asses. I have to make sure that I record every situation with them. This morning, the first thing I did before I addressed them or answered them is I started recording for my safety. So anything that was said by me is recorded, and anything they say to me is recorded. They are victim blaming and victim shaming. Is this really what Fred Myers is about? About helping to harm disabled people? Is that what they're really about? Instead of doing something about Molly, the cops didn't do anything. Fred Myers didn't do anything. Now there's multiple people who are witnesses to a lot of these situations, like Scott Scudder, Jason Scudder, Kara Scudder. There's also one of the managers here who works here. He's the one who had to tell Tom he couldn't sleep in a chair behind my vehicle. And all of that was over the Molly situation. And no matter how much I told Tom, hey, you can't just pile your stuff next to my vehicle. We got to put it somewhere. We got him a storage facility. I drove him there and helped him to put his stuff in there. I did what I could to help him out. While I was being victimized by Molly too. And why was I helping him out? Because he was being victimized by Molly. Now she tries to break into the building here, and there's a manager here, God, what is his name? It starts Caleb. And of course, Caleb told me more than one story about Molly. And same thing with Scott. Multiple people told me about instances of her creating problems here at Fred Myers, as well as in town. I had to be afraid to go to where the church feeds are because of Molly. And because of Robert Farnsworth. Do you know what it's like to have a man like Farnsworth following you around, screaming in your face, saying he's going to kill you? Harassing you everywhere you go? I can't be in town because of Molly and Farnsworth. I can't go to the cops because they're not going to investigate it. Multiple occasions in this parking lot, the cops didn't do their job. And here's another restricted number calling me. You think that's fun? When people victimize me and they think it's funny, they go give my phone number out and then I get a bunch of harassment calls. Well, you know what? When people scam me like that, I sure as hell put their numbers up too. Nobody deserves to go through this. This is inhumane. Now, Rob here, I don't hate him as a human being. Of course, he probably got some Louis Vuitton.
We ask that you not video me. You are on private property, and we do not condone videotaping on our private property.
Now, why am I on private property? Because I am not treated like a human being by the Fred Myers staff. I am not a human being here. When I am victimized in their parking lot, they won't do anything. They will treat me like I have done something wrong, like I chose to be victimized, like I chose this situation. I did not. Now, these guys don't want to be taped. I don't care. I can tape audio anywhere that I choose, and I am an at-risk and disabled adult, which means that I am allowed to record at all points in time. Now, how has it worked out for me going to the police? What do? They talk over me. They try to pretend like it's my fault that I was victimized and that I chose this. They try to tell me that I need to go to some other agency that tells me to go to some other agency until I have 400 friggin' phone numbers that I've got to call, and I've already called most of them twice already, if not more. Now, being victimized is not okay. It's also not okay for people to come and victimize me on private property. It's not okay for anybody to victimize me anywhere. But the fact that they're getting away with it because Fred Meyer's staff don't care and because the police don't care is horrible. The fact that I need a friend or family member when I am victimized like this, and that's what the paperwork says. It says I'm supposed to go to a friend or family member. But what do my friends or family members do? Nothing. They tell me I just got to love myself. They tell me, well, have you tried calling the cops? Yes, I've tried calling the cops. They talk over me. They did nothing to try to investigate the situations with Molly. Nothing at all. Nothing to do anything about the situations with Farnsworth. I can't go to the churches here in town. I got to deal with Farnsworth or Molly or, of course, other homeless people that are all messed up on drugs, and I am overwhelmed. Meanwhile, I've got this guy, Rob, who is well, he says he's the owner here at Fred Meyer's, and he might be, but the thing is this really how he should treat his customers? Is it? How much money have you guys seen me on my videos spending here? I've spent about $600 here just in the last month. It's not like I'm not ever a customer. Now, don't get me wrong. I get that the food stamps you don't consider actual money. All right, fine. In that case, I've spent at least $200 here in just the past month. At least $200. Most of the crap that I've got on or in my car came from Fred Meyer's here. Now, when I go in and I have a coffee and they want to come in and harass me about hanging out, I'm not hanging out. The things that the cops are telling me I have to do, their jobs, literally. They're telling me that I have to find a place to do this. How can I do that when all of my money is being spent taking care of crap like this? When I am treated like I am some sort of a predator because people are predatory towards me. Or where that predation is ignored because I'm homeless and a male. Now, at no point in time have I been physically aggressive towards these people. At no point in time have I threatened any bodily harm against them. At no point in time have I threatened bodily harm against anybody on their property. Now, when I am victimized like this is not my choice. Now, for these Fred Meyer's staff to act in the way that they do is entirely inappropriate. But it's fine, isn't it? It's fine that I am victimized to this point because nobody cares. Now, obviously, I don't have any cocaine, I don't have any crack, I don't have any booze. What I've got is a severe problem with being victimized. This should not happen. Not to disabled adults or otherwise. Now, there's 5 people around. And this is good quality entertainment for the whole family. This should not be happening. A disabled and homeless male has to be afraid to go to the cops alone because they will blow us off, as you have heard. Many times. Like when they blew off the situation here at Fred Meyer's with Molly. And of course, Rob blew that situation off too. He was aware of it. He's one of the witnesses. And of course, you guys got him viewed. He's definitely recorded on my channel here more than once. We've got him recorded audio, and today we've got him recorded on video. Victimizing the victim. Blaming the victim. And of course, this all comes down to me not having a safe place. Being victimized out of town because the cops didn't want to do their jobs. Over and over and over again. Now I'm waiting for Jason Scudder, but I can't make him get here any faster. And these guys want to get an attitude with me because of things that I can't help. I can't just magic away my physical disabilities. That just doesn't work. I can't just magic up somebody to help me move all of this stuff at a moment's notice. People have their own lives. But then, of course, I get treated like I chose this, when the reality is other people have their own lives. They can't just magic it up either. Now, there's stuff that I could have done this morning in order to try to get this stuff done and taken care of and out of here. But of course, I have to make sure that I record so that when people do stuff like this, it is recorded. Like, I got as much in there, stuffed into there as I could. That thing is chock full. Now, for these guys to insinuate that I am some sort of a horrible person because I've been victimized is stupid. And of course, the police are going to take full advantage of this because I'm trying to turn them in and they know it. Now, all of you guys on my YouTube channel could have called this in. You can call it in, and they might take it seriously. But you see how it is when I call it in. It's my fault for being victimized. That's what Rob says. Now, that's the problem with people hating the homeless. All of this anti-homeless crap is that these people are Nazis in this town. This town does have a very heavy KKK following. And we've heard that from Fred Meyer's staff on this channel. We've heard it from the folks that work over at Denny's on this channel. There's the folks at the churches as well. It's not that people are not aware. Now, this hatred towards the homeless and the rampant victimization of us, running us off from one place to another, to another, to another, we're victimized everywhere. And we've got people like Rob who think that it's okay to treat human beings like this and to victimize the victims and to try to chastise the victims for being victimized. And over and over and over again, all he hears in his own head is his own voice, that it's my fault. It's my fault. It's my fault I was victimized. You blame the male victims. Isn't that right? Isn't that right? A male could not possibly be victimized. Especially not a broke person, especially not a homeless person. But the statistics show otherwise. Now let's make sure we record the police officer. Yes, this is one of the ones we've spoken with before. So let's have ourselves a conversation with this officer and make sure that it is recorded. Neubauer.
Well, yeah, we got a conversation.
They're talking real quiet. I hope your body camera's on. Now, obviously, I've been trying to turn this in for a while. Obviously, I spoke with the police about the situation with this stuff just a few days ago. Obviously, I have run around every service there is, and obviously, I'm being blamed for being victimized. Now, I'm waiting on Jason Scudder, and he's late, and I'm not going to hate him for that. He has a life of his own. The other thing is, I can't just turn off my disabilities and magic up what everybody wants at every point in time.
Hey, Sean.
Yes, sir.
Hey, is there any way I can get you to leave? Like, is there any way I can help you?
There is. I need to get a storage facility, but I also have to maintain recording because of the harassment that I've been enduring.
Okay.
I need to be able to get my stuff to a storage facility. I also need to be able to call a storage facility, and I also need to be able to turn in the crimes. I went in last night to go get something to drink. When I came back out, the stuff was all here. I did explain it to the people that were here last night. I do have that recorded. It's on my YouTube channel. There's been multiple situations where I've been threatened, harassed, and even assaulted. And the thing is that the police have not investigated any of it. The situation with Molly still went uninvestigated. Nobody ever tried. And that happened here. Well, the officers that do, I'm trying to turn in because they didn't handle it appropriately or correctly. Now, the reason that this all happened is because I tried going to the police, you guys, and of course the sheriff's department, and I get blown off. I was forced to come here because I was victimized elsewhere. I am at risk of being abused by the homeless because I am disabled. I can't take care of myself.
And I 100% get that.
But the thing is, that this stuff right here,
Yeah.
was dumped off next to my vehicle last night. It is my stuff, but it got me trapped here. I've got a guy who's been harassing me for 5 days from a Nebraska number, and he watches my channel, and then after he watches my channel, he takes credit for some of this stuff. But really, he's not the culprit. It's a Nebraska number. It's 308-800, let me see it. And this guy's been harassing me for over a week.
308 what?
800-7560.
7560.
Yes, sir. Anyway, I've been getting chastised over this stuff, like I chose this, like I brought it here, and that's not the case. It's never okay to victimize the victim or to blame the victim for being victimized.
Okay, so do you know who brought it? Do you know if they can come pick it up? Or is there any way that I can get your stuff put somewhere else?
That's what I'm trying to do. There's Jason Scudder was going to come here and help with that. He was going to be here around 10 or 10:30. He had to go drop off a trailer, all the stuff on it, and then come back with the trailer. He told me that last night. It is recorded on my channel. The thing with Vicky Rain, she's the one that had all of my stuff. She didn't tell me that she has multiple personality disorder, and she just started flipping out. So that was about 3 weeks ago. It put me in a really tight bind. It made it so that I'm stuck here. Between the situation with Robert Farnsworth on at least 8 or 9 different occasions, was uninvestigated. The situations with Molly here on Fred Meyers and over at other properties, it makes it so that it's unsafe for me to even go to the churches because that's where they go. Then I was abused at the churches by those people, and even though the churches saw it, people like Eileen at the First Christian, they didn't do anything about it.
Okay.
Now, I don't do drugs. I don't drink. I am obviously in a state of panic.
I've never met you before. There's nothing to worry about. You're not in trouble.
We met once, but it was over a situation with somebody else. But
Have we?
we have. I've been here about 6 months.
All right.
Anyway, I haven't been able to call a place to even see about getting this to storage because I've had to record this because I've been expecting you guys.
All right, so my body cam is on. If you want to call a
Good.
place real quick, I'm still recording.
One of the problems is that I've been harmed in a lot of places. Police officers did have their body cameras on.
Okay.
They claimed that they had it on. The moment that I turned off my recording device, they committed crimes against me, and I'm told that it's going to take an act of God to get their body cameras back.
Okay, would you like to use my phone to call so you can keep filming on your phone?
Yes, sir. Thank you, and thank you. I also need to turn in the lady who did this, and I need somebody to check their cameras to see who dropped it off.
Okay, so what storage facility?
I don't know, I guess Tillamook Public Storage, is that what it's called?
I'm not sure. There's a few. Do you have a way to get this stuff over there?
That's what I'm waiting on Jason Scudder for. This vehicle's all I got, you know? So, I mean, when she dumped this off on me, she knew she was doing a horrible thing.
Okay, so there's Tillamook Mini Storage, there's Pacific Storage, and Port Storage. Do you know where Port Storage is? It's over by the blimp hangar.
Oh, it's that way, right?
No, it would be that way.
No.
Okay. All right. So Pacific Storage and Tillamook Mini Storage are both on 3rd Street over by Center Market. You know where that's at?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where my storage was. This lady talked me into taking my stuff out of storage last month to save money because she was going to help me. After I had my stuff out of storage, that's when she let me know she had multiple personality disorder.
Okay.
But the thing is that this stuff, it cuts me off from resources. It cuts me off from being able to go shopping. The situation with Molly made a lot of mess for myself and a lot of other people. I've got at least 30 witnesses to that recorded on my channel.
Okay. So do you want to call one of these storage places?
Yes, sir. But I also want somebody to go in and investigate who it is that dropped this off
So let's
and the people who were harassing me.
let's take care of this now, and
Yes,
then
sir.
we will visit that other thing. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
All right. So right now, the storage. Do you want Tillamook Mini Storage or Pacific
That'll work.
Storage?
Which one's closer?
They're both on 3rd Street. I'd say Pacific Storage is like a couple blocks closer.
Actually, Tillamook Mini Storage is where I was at before, so probably them.
All right. Here.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
You see, this guy wasn't a dick.
Tillamook Main Storage, this is Jeremy.
Hey, it's Sean Schwartz. I believe I had storage out there about a month ago. Do what?
I said, what can I do for you?
Well, the lady who had me take all my stuff out and put it there to try to save money, she's got multiple personality disorder, and I found that out after I moved my stuff. So it's all sitting next to my car at Fred Meyer's. So I was wanting to re-rent a storage unit. I've got my card and I've got cash too if I need to pull it out.
Okay, let me, what size unit are you looking for?
Probably about the smallest one you got. And if you've got one on the ground floor, that would be great.
That'd be great. Okay, right now, I just have a 5x10 upstairs. In the next couple days, I'm going to have, I'll have to check with the carpenter. I might have 5x10 by the end of the day, but probably it'll be tomorrow.
I've got an officer here. I've got an officer here wanting me to move my stuff, so that's part of what's going on. She had somebody drop all my stuff next to my car at Fred Meyer's last night while I was shopping.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah. The only thing I can get you to right now would be that 5x10 upstairs.
I can do that. How much will that be?
$69 a month.
All right. That's I think about $5 less than it was. No, I think that's the same price. All right. So do I just can I just take care of the paperwork when I get there?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Thank you.
Yep, no problem.
All right.
And then you got your ID with you, right?
Oh, I certainly do. Matter of fact, I've got an Oregon ID now.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, yeah, we'll get you, that'll make it easy. I'll just go ahead and take a copy. I just want to make sure you have that so we can get you that up over here. All right, I'll see you in a little bit and we'll get you all set up.
All right. Thanks. You rock.
Yeah, thanks much.
All right.
All right.
Sir.
So,
As far as Jason Scudder goes, that's all I'm waiting on as far as moving it. Like, we didn't need all of this stuff going on. It was going to take as long as it's take, no matter how much those old fucking fat assholes want to whine.
so because this is their property, they don't want you here. They want you trespassed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to them to see if you can just stay with your stuff until you get it moved. You have a
Well,
storage
that's the
unit.
thing that they've been bugging me about since first thing this morning. They've been very rude and inconsiderate about it and blaming me for it and accusing me of doing this. And it's very rude and inconsiderate. The thing with the Molly situation is that should have been investigated just like this situation needs to.
So how about I go and talk to them and see if they'll just leave you alone until you get your stuff. How long do you think it'll take to get your stuff down there?
I don't know. Once somebody gets here I could pile some of it on top of your cruiser.
I don't know.
Like, if I had somebody that could watch it, I could go take what I've got up there to storage, but that would it's going to take about an hour to get it all set up, and then I have a fucked up back, and obviously it's going to be going upstairs.
Yeah, I don't want you to have to do that. So let me go talk to them and see if they'll just leave you alone until you go. But do you think you'll be out like within the next couple of hours?
I'm trying to. I'll have to call Jason Scudder, but I also, I want to be able to make the calls without being afraid that somebody is going to come beating on my window while it's not recording. I have to be afraid of that often.
Okay, well, let me talk to them. Let me deal with that. Just as long as you tell me that you're going to get your stuff out.
Yeah, I told him last night I was going to get it out of here.
Okay.
But I wouldn't be able to do anything or call storage until this morning. And before I was able to call storage, I had people knocking on my window.
All right. I will go talk to them. Okay, I'll be right back.
Thank you, sir. Oh my God, I gotta sit down. I am in so much freaking pain. I suppose I could probably, there's some smaller stuff I can probably slide in. My back's pretty screwed up, obviously. I had to quit last night because of it, but. Oh, there's another restricted number. Same asshole. Now this is what I've been putting up with ever since December of 2019 when Natalie Bollinger got her brains blown out. Matter of fact, I had to deal with this for a whole year before that, but not like this. I had a place that I could stay. Then Natalie got her brains blown out and it changed everything. I was forced into homelessness. And I've been stuck in this ever since. Now, obviously, I haven't threatened any of these people, but they keep threatening me. They blame me for being victimized, which sucks. They think that yelling at me is gonna magic away my disabilities. That chastising me is gonna magic away the fact that I didn't do this to myself. I don't hold any hatred or animosity towards these people. It's the conditions that I'm forced to live in. Forced to live in. Now, and we got guys over there at the McDonald's talking about shooting people and their gun collections and how they obtained them illegally, and it's recorded on my channel. But then those guys want to become Karens and complain that I was saying how wrong that is. You get to see how screwed up a situation it really is. I try to explain to y'all how it really is for us out here, how it doesn't matter if you're a human being or not to the rest of society. What matters is whether or not you can prove it. Now, with the treatment that I've been receiving, you know what? I'm not going to get treated like I am a horrible person because people harmed me. I'm not going to be treated like I chose for people to commit crimes against me. I'm not going to pretend like I'm a horrible person just because people took advantage of me. Bonjour.
Hey, Sean. Hey, so I talked to them. They're not, I asked them to just let me deal with you. I told them that you'll probably have this stuff out in the next couple of hours. I'm going to come back and check on you, okay?
Yes, sir.
I'm not going to come back to be a dickhead. I'm just coming back to check on you to get your stuff out because they want it out.
I know. I wanted it out. I wanted it to stay in my storage facility.
I 100% get that. You're in a tight spot, so I'm trying to work with you.
All right. Now, about the people who dropped it off and investigating that.
Okay. What is the name of the person that dropped it off?
I don't know. The person who dropped it off isn't the person who had it. The person who had it, her name was Vicki Rain. VICKIRAINE. And she lives at, here, I'll just hand you my ID because that's her address. I just got my ID a couple weeks ago. She was the one that paid for it, which was awful nice of her. And the problem is that multiple personality disorders is very scary, but that's her address right there. And those of you who go through my channel looking for excuses to hate on me.
I don't, Sean.
Oh, not you. I was talking to my channel.
Oh, all right.
You know, you guys go through and make fun of me as much as you can. And you're evil and it's hurtful. But the thing is, this is not the way I wanted to do any of this. Now, her name is Vicki Rain. She has a roommate named Nick. He's the one that helped me move it out of the storage facility before, so he might have been the one that dropped it off.
Okay.
I'd have to go back and look at the recordings, but somebody either last night or this morning was saying that they thought it was somebody in a white van with tires on top of it.
Okay.
Which he got his tires changed, so it might be his, but I don't think he's got a van. Okay. But the cameras here will show it.
I can ask them about this. When all this is done, I can deal with that.
All right.
12 minutes. Hey, okay, so I will come back in a couple hours and check on you, okay?
All right. And they'll leave me alone?
I have told them that I want to deal with you and you only
Thank you, sir.
Okay?
I've got a lot of crimes I have to turn in. Is there any way I can get your card?
Yeah, of course. But because it is their store, they do want you trespassed, so you can't go in the store, and after you leave here, you can't come back.
Yeah, I kind of figured. That literally makes it so I've got no place in town to be.
What about Safeway?
No, sir, that situation became pretty unbearable when a 14-year-old girl was assaulted by a sheriff's deputy up there in front of me. It's recorded on my YouTube channel as well.
Okay.
She was trying to tell on her stepdad for abusing her, and he came up, grabbed a hold of her, spun her around, took a running start into the side of his patrol vehicle and slammed her down on the ground. Didn't say a word to her, just her friends were trying to explain it. It is recorded. But the thing is, there's also the fact that Robert Farnsworth has been hanging out up there, and he's been violent with me in the past and violent with others in front of me in the past, also recorded.
I do know him. Okay, so, all right. So we're going to get this taken care
Yes,
of,
sir.
and then we will talk about this other stuff, okay?
All right. I'm a disabled adult. I'm autistic. I get a check. I also obviously have physical disabilities.
I get that.
My physical disabilities have not been accommodated, and it's trying to find a place where I can sit down and do what it is that officers have told me I have to do. They're telling me I got to try to do this from inside of my vehicle or go do it at the library. It's easier to get kicked out of the library than it is to get kicked out of Fred Meyer's or McDonald's. I got kicked out of McDonald's because there was some guys in there talking about killing people and how they got their illegal firearms. And then they went and told the staff at McDonald's that I was talking about blowing the place up and shooting people in there. And I'm like, that's not it. And that's recorded on my channel too. It's also recorded that, again, I'm the one that got kicked out when they're the ones talking about shooting people.
Okay. Well, I don't know what has happened, and I'm sorry some things have happened to you, but let's get this taken care of, and we'll try and take care of some of the other things, okay? I'm going to come
Thank you, sir.
check on you probably around, I can't even give you a time frame because I'm just going back and forth everywhere.
Thank you,
All right,
Mr.
but-
Neubauer. Also, the situation with Molly, Caleb
Yeah.
is one of the managers here, and
Okay.
he had multiple run-ins with her too, as well as Jared Scudder.
Okay. Well, I told them I would come back and check on you, okay? So no one else is supposed to do that.
All right, I might try to see if somebody can watch my stuff, and I'll try to drive out forward if I can get somebody to watch it.
Okay.
Would they get in trouble if they did that?
No.
All right, because they might be afraid of the same thing happening to them that just happened to me.
Okay. All right. I told them I'm dealing with it, all right?
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Fuck, my fingers are cold. That was stupid. Don't put my evidence in jeopardy. He's not going to do anything about the actual crimes until I'm able to move my stuff. And then at that point, he'll probably say that he's not going to do anything about the actual crimes. We'll hope for the best. The fact that I got to turn in some of his fellow coworkers, I didn't really address that, did I? I didn't want to have those issues. Now, obviously, those guys throwing a tantrum didn't do anything except making things worse. But things will only happen as fast as they happen. I get victimized, and then I get victimized more for being fucking victimized. God bless America. And they always want to do that open your door thing. I don't have to. I can hear you, you can hear me. If I have to speak louder, I can do that. If the police had actually addressed the safety issues, things would have been different. If the people of the church had actually addressed the safety issues, things would have been different. They were not addressed appropriately. Nothing was done to make sure that those people didn't have access to me again. Anyway, I should probably hang up and try to call Scott Scudder. Come on, you guys, help me to turn this shit in. Help me to turn it in. Help explain the safety issues and the safety risks. With the Scudders, I gotta try to fill them in on 6 years of hell in just a few minutes. The people who are involved should have spoke up, and if they were good people, they would have. Now, I do speak up about the fact that I have to speak up in public. Nobody should have to do this in public. Now, obviously, I gotta pay attention to my surroundings, because I don't trust any of these people. I get victimized, and you get to see how living in poverty, being broke, and of course having to be afraid of people like Rob being a fucking asshole. There is no need for that. And this ain't the first time. You know, the first time that Rob pulled this shit, you know, I did speak up about it. And it's recorded with him coming up and talking to me, too. Exactly what I was afraid of. Now, because I'm stuck in public, people can victimize me whenever they want. They get to do things like this without consequence. What will be the consequences for her? Nothing. She outright scammed me and took advantage of me. Now, it's okay for her to have panic attacks, but not for me, right? The thing is that Rob wanted to come out and treat me with complete and total disrespect, along with his coworkers, and they've done so on multiple occasions, while I am doing my best to follow their instructions and their rules. And I did. I have been. I have not slept in this parking lot since Rob came out and talked to me the last time. Being a whiny little bitch. I hope people boycott Fred Meyer over this. I doubt that they will. I'm not a pretty white girl. I don't have blonde hair and blue eyes. Sounds like somebody's horn is honking. What did sleeping in town result in? On public streets, it resulted in me having to deal with drunks and alcoholics at all odd hours of the night. Me having to deal with tweakers at all hours of the night. Same thing I got to deal with down here. But Farnsworth is up in town. He's not down here. Farnsworth is violent. You tell me to stay away from my predators. Then you tell me to go to the resources. I can't do both. Then you pretend I'm not trying because I won't go to resources that are unsafe to go to. If Farnsworth can do that at the First Christian Church, at least, I want to say at least 6 of the situations between myself and others that are recorded actually happened there. But also, I gotta have a place to do it, and the police gotta not betray my trust repeatedly. Now that officer, you got to hear him say that he would do something about the other stuff when he gets back. What's he gonna do though? Probably say it's not his job and send me to mental health. I did give him the names of witnesses to talk to, but he didn't write them down. Make sure I got my ID back at least. Saved my fucking receipts. Yep, he did give me my ID back. Zach Neubauer, police officer, City of Tillamook. Police Department, 207 Madrona Avenue, Tillamook, Oregon, 97141. Office, 503-842-2522. Cell phone number, 503-812-6278. Dispatch, 503-815-1911. Z. Neubauer at tillamookor.gov. Oh, come on, zoom in on it. Maybe if I do that. No. I didn't ask to be fucking victimized into this. But you see how Vicky Rain victimizes me. And it victimizes me for over a month. I did what she asked, and then she kept on changing it over and over again and put my evidence in jeopardy. That is never okay. Being forced to do this in Fred Meyer's, being forced to do it at fucking McDonald's, being forced to do it at the fucking library. This is not okay either. I gotta hang up on this. It's horse shit. You say there's nothing you can do. There is something you can do. You can fucking call it in. Good to be rid of you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper and your sister's, and no victim left behind. Well, it looks like with the exception of me, as always. And then you're going to throw a tantrum when I speak up and you find out you're on YouTube.